Hello ladies and gentlemen and boys and girls. Well, you've probably heard me say a few times in some of the videos that I've done that I enjoy doing some more than others. Now when I say that, it doesn't mean that I don't like doing any of them. I love doing all of them. It's just occasionally I get a little bit more of a kick out of doing one more than another. I mean, the last one I did was 21 BR Black British steamers, and wow, I really enjoyed that one. It was great fun. I've been looking forward to doing this one. I've had it in mind to be done for quite a while, but while I've had the plan in my mind for quite some time, a couple of things have happened recently which has enabled me to take it even a step further. I'll explain more about that in a little while. And so, swinging around then, number one, let's go for it. Just check this out, guys. Check that out. Wow. Now I'm going to tell you now, this is an American, obviously it's a steam loco, it's Mallet, pronounced Mallet. She's a 2-8-8-2, Pennsylvania, of course, there. Now, the American Mallet were generally used for hauling, freight. They weren't really used for passenger cars, although I'm sure some probably did. I've actually put passenger cars on it today anyway, but the thing is, the Mallet here, the first one of these rolled off the production line, I think it was 1909, so that's quite some time ago. The first ones were made by the Baldwin Locomotive Works, which was in Philadelphia and Pennsylvania, if I remember correctly. And these also, although they only sort of did about 25 mile an hour, they also did some modifications on them as the years went by, and they did get them up to about 55 mile an hour. And these were also the predecessor to the famous cab forward, Union Pacific's cab forward, which I featured in a video quite some time ago. I think it was called Classic US Steamers Part 1. So if you've never seen a cab forward, basically it's one of these, and it's like sort of turned round with the cab put on the front. So go and have a look at that one if you've never seen a cab forward. So there she is, and I'm going to be back in 2 ticks. Okay, as I said a few seconds ago, these were mainly used for hauling freight across the mountain ranges, etc., but I have chosen to put some passenger cars on her. I think it looks good anyway, so we'll just get it going steady. I'll just let you see those, all the drivers, valve gear, etc. And I've got a couple of named coaches, Anthony Wayne, James Logan, and then we've got the dining car, they're all clerestory roofs, and I've got a couple of standard car, and then the railway post office on the back. So let's just crank around a couple of times. Again, the drive wheels on her are very small, so it does tend to give that sort of I'm going fast look when she's not really moving that fast. But, oh, look at that. Nice one, guys. That is lovely. Beautiful. Oh, absolutely stunningly brilliant. Right, come on. Get a nice close-up. I'm going to get a run along the front here for you. Come on, gal. Here we go. Oh, cool. Oh, lovely, yeah. Right, we'll just get her back to the front and bring in the next one. Explain to you what the next one's all about. Brilliant. Now number 2 will be around in a few seconds, but I just want to explain something to you here. Like I said, I've had this video in mind for quite a long time, and there was one particular loco that I was waiting for, that I've been waiting for to get my hands on for a while before I could do it, which of course I can now, and all will be explained. But my original plan was to run an articulated one, this one, on mainline 2. I was going to run a non-articulated one on line 1, and I was going to run another articulated one on line 3, which would make sense. But the problem is the non-articulated one, which is coming round in a second, will not run on line 1 because of the purse radius curves. And I've never tried this before, but I thought, well, I wonder if the articulated one, the Mallet, will do this. And hell's bells, man, this loco is doing it on purse radius curves. That is absolutely amazing. And at the end of the day, when you think about it, it's quite good, because they were originally done with the articulated wheel arrangement, so it could go round quite tight curves, and which means it's fine, and it's working fine on the old Super 4 track. So all right, there we go then. So let's bring in the next one. Get a load of this. Now, a little bit earlier on in the video, I did say to you that something had happened recently during the past few days, a week or so, which enabled me to take this video a step further than originally planned, and I'll explain here and now. Right, this is, excuse me, I gotta move. Right, there she is. Look at that. Excuse me. Now this is the Bachmann one, brand new, beautiful locomotive. She is a 284, running number 1225, very famous Pere Marquette, or Marquette and Marquette. I'm not sure how to pronounce that actually, but Marquette seems to be right. Yeah, very famous, 1225, and there she is. Like I say, the latest, the Bachmann one, brand spanking new. Absolutely, well, you can see it. I mean, come on, they're just gorgeous. Now, the plan, like I said, was originally I was going to run this one on line 1, but because of the 4 wheels all being flanged, she won't make those first radius curves, which is no big deal, because like I say, the Mallet's doing it fine, so I'll swap the plan around and I'll put Pere Marquette on line 2, which is great. But I was watching a video on YouTube just a few days ago about the original Pere Marquette, which is still running. It's still out there in use, does a lot of excursions and shows and things like that, and she's beautiful. And then I suddenly spotted this video with another loco coupled to her, and at close examination it's another it's another 284 nickel plate road, and so that's what I've done. Now, I did feature Nickel Plate Road not long ago, here she is. I did feature her not long ago in a video called Hauling Vehicles by Steam, because she was in it on her own. So there she is. So that is Nickel Plate Road, double-headed now, with Pere Marquette. Now they are both built by the Lima Locomotive Company in Lima, Ohio. So yeah, there they are together, exactly the same as on the video on YouTube. And I will put you a link to them together like this. I will give you a link to that video so you can go and have a look. Yeah, and so like I said, I think they look absolutely fantastic together. They are both, by the way, called like a Berkshire class. I think that's the correct pronunciation for that, the Berkshire. So there. Okay, well, now the thing is, the original coaches that the Pere Marquette would pull, I've had a look on YouTube, and they are normally like I think the blue with like a couple of yellow stripes, and there's not really any writing on them. So I don't actually have any coaches for PM Railroad, unfortunately, but I've noticed on the YouTube videos they're pulling these coaches which are sort of unmarked, and then there's a bit of mix and match again, which is quite typical, and there was some Ohio Central coaches on with them both. So the closest I can do this, because obviously I haven't got coaches for every state in America, but what I have done, I've put some Baltimore and Ohio coaches on, which are pretty close, so we'll move them round. You have a look what's on her, on these I should say. We've got the United States Mail Railway Post Office, and then a typical baggage car, and then we're going to have the cholesterol roof wagons, 1, not wagons, coaches, 2, cars, 3, and then the observation on the end. So that makes a fairly nice long consist, looking pretty cool, with a pair of Berkshires double-headed. So around again. get them to here. Oh, don't they look fantastic, guys? Just look at those. And when you think that the Bachmann one there is like brand new, I mean, I've only had her a few weeks, first time I've actually run her, to be honest with you. And then you look at the nickel plate road, now she's a Rivarossi, and she's probably, I don't know, 20 years old. I mean, yeah, the Bachmann is stunning. It really is stunning. I mean, the detail is superb. But, you know, at the end of the day, the Rivarossi is not that bad, you know. I mean, she's pretty good. So there we go. Right, well, it's time for the next bit. The third one's going to come out in a few seconds time. Right, a few seconds have passed, so let's get this one out. Now, if you've seen my two videos called Classic Extremers Part 1 and Part 2, you may remember that in Part 2 there was one locomotive that I wanted to run but didn't have at the time, and this is it. I've now got her. You may remember I was talking to you in those videos about the J-Class 611 was one of my favourite ones, along with the cab forward. The big boy was my ultimate favourite, but my number 2 I didn't have, and this is it. So let's get around, get your eyes on this one, guys and dolls. Right, here she comes. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Challenger. This was my number 2 fave, and the one that I didn't have at the time of doing that other video. So there she is, Challenger. She's the slightly smaller than Big Boy, but still a magnificent locomotive. This is a brand new Rivarossi. It's never been run. The box is completely knackered, if I can say that, where it's been moved around on shelves and things, but the loco's never even been run. There was nothing on the tyres, nothing. It was absolutely perfect. So let's have a good look at her. Yep, she's a 4664, articulated again, obviously. There she is, 3977, and the usual Union Pacific centipede tender. Fantastic. She's beautiful. Yeah, so this is my number 2 favourite of all the American stuff. So let's just move around nice and gently, and I want you to see these folks. Oh, look at that. I'll tell you what, this one must be about 20 years old. You know, I mean, it's like just never been run, which is great for me. Good price as well, and a nice gentleman who sold it me. Right, and so we've got a lovely set of Union Pacific smooth side coaches on her. I'll get those across and round, and as quite often is the case, we've got the station car on the back there. So now I'm getting round here, give you one more look at her across to the front before I have a little bit of a break, and I'm going to crack them all up, and then I'm going to do something else towards the end of the video. So I'm going to stop her here. Oh, she's magnificent. Right, I'm going, I'll be back in a minute. See? Well, it's now time to see everything moving, so let's just get on with it and ogle these 4 beautiful locomotives. Here we go. Right, 1. 2. 3. Right, usual thing then, a lot of nice video of them all. By the way, I will mention to you, every now and then you're going to hear something knocking, and I'll show you what it is in a minute. Just here, around this bit here, let this one go by, and I'll show you exactly what I mean. Come on girls. Right, on this corner here, on these three bends, which is obviously there, and here, because the room's not square, we had to lose about an inch. It was about an inch off square, and we had to lose that little bit on the track. And the way I did it was by having these three tracks on this corner not quite the correct recommended distance, which is, what was it, 67mm. And because I'm using all long wheel base coaches on these three trains, then on this corner they do catch. You might actually even see it. No, not quite on that one, but it's going to happen before the video's finished, so now you know what the noise is that you hear, so let's just have a look round. Yeah, I can hear it. Amazing. Truly amazing. Lovely set of steamers, absolutely gorgeous. A little bit of following. Actually, you might be able to hear a squeak as well. I can hear it, and I know what it is. It's one of the axles on the Baltimore IO coach set. Been around here now. One of these coaches has got a squeak on it. I think it's the second from the end one. I think they need a little bit of service and a bit of oil, probably. Right. I can hear the coasters catching. They're only just touching. They really are only just. Pretty nice though. Great set of locomotives. Oh wow. Alright, try and get a couple of sweet shots. I keep hearing them banging. Wicked. Nope. Nice one. Like to get a pair of Berkshires. Just might be able to do it here, yeah. Okay. Yeah, pretty good. Not bad at all, that. Not bad at all. Make it nice together, look. Right, what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to stop it out of line with the Challenger on, because a little bit earlier on I told you I planned this video, and the original plan was going to be Challenger, Pere Marquette, and the 2882 Mallet. But when I saw that video with the pair of Berkshires together where nickel plate road was coupled, I've added that on, as you've already seen. So that's one thing. But then I've got something else I want to do, and I'll be back with you in a few seconds and tell you what I'm going to do. Right, now let me explain something to you what I've done. Right, about 4 videos back I did a video called Union Pacific Day, and on that video I featured Big Boy, which is supposed to be the biggest locomotive, steam locomotive ever made in the world, although I do believe there are some bigger ones. But anyway, we'll stick with Big Boy, that's what it was. And for the fun of doing it, I put the DD40AX on the back of her, like a helper, and I sort of had a bit of a laugh about it, because it was just a plan of something that I thought would look good, having the biggest diesel and the biggest steam loco together. Yeah, and it worked well. It's created quite a bit of interest. But I didn't think it had ever really been done for real. But what I did find out, because long after I'd done that video, my friend Danny over in Canada, whose channel is DMNCAU, he sent me a YouTube video, and lo and behold, they more or less did do it. And I thought, I can do this. So let me show you what I mean and what happened. Right. On this video that Danny sent me, we've got Challenger, which was there, waiting to come round. You've already seen her anyway. And what they've done on this video is down here, you've got the gas turbine, which you've seen running. And the gas turbine has this extra tender, which is not in the box there now. You've seen it all running, and the extra tender was for extra fuel, because this was a waste fuel burning loco, along with the tender with extra waste fuel. But once the gas turbine was taken out of service, they then converted some of the tenders to be water carrying. And on this video, we've got Big Boy, we've got that very tender being used for extra water behind her, and then behind her again we've got the DD40AX. So it virtually had been done, although I didn't know about this at the time. So look, and I'll send you a link. I'll put a link on the description box to it, and you can see it doing it exactly like this. Exactly like this. You've got Challenger, you've got a gas turbine tender converted for extra water behind her, and then the DD40AX on the end. And that's what it's like on the YouTube video. So I'll put you a link to that in the description box. I'll also put you a link so that you can see Pere, Marquette and Nickel Plate Road running together again in a YouTube video. And wow, I'm glad. I knew I could do this. Once Danny sent me that video, I knew I could recreate this. The only difference is the coaches on this one are pretty much overland passenger coaches, whereas on the one on YouTube, I believe it's pulling a circus train, but hell, that doesn't really matter, the rest of it's right. So girl, I'm well pleased with that. You probably noticed I've turned around the whole set round just to be different and bringing it around in the clockwise direction again. So, like here, there you go. I can hear that wheel squeaking. Alright, well, that's it guys. That's, well, yeah, 4 beautiful steamers, plus the DD40AX again, since it's the 3rd time she's been featured. Getting to be a right little star. Oh, and by the way, that's not the reason I took the point motor off. Fortunately, that is quite handy, because I've now been able to bang the DD40AX on the back of Challenger there. But it's not the actual reason I took it off. That reason will be coming to light very, very soon. So I think the best thing to do now on this one is just fade the whole thing out. And bid you good night. Hope you enjoyed the show again. I'm well pleased with it. Some great locos, some great rolling stock, some great looking angles, and yeah, well chuffed. So take care of yourselves everybody, and each other of course, and I'll catch up with you on the next video when I can. Bye-bye.